And you may have seen this earlier today. The New York Times posted an article titled "Concussions Ended His Football Dreams. Now at 24, he helps others achieve theirs." The subject of the article is none other than former quarterback Clint Trickett, who joins us now. Clint, good evening. Welcome back to the show.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hey, great to talk to you, my man. I read the profile today in the New York Times, just a really interesting, fascinating look. And I guess let's start here. And you had numerous opportunities and numerous calls from reporters wanting to talk to you after you announced last year that you were retiring due to the concussions you had suffered, but you really didn't talk too much about it. You chose to go to do this interview. Why now, and what got you to talk to the New York Times?
Well, obviously it's a hot topic right now. It's one, that the NFL is really pressing on, and it's, there's a movie coming out, and, a lot of people first tried to contact me, and it was more on, the negative aspects of the concussions and, like, how hard is it for you? What are the bad things and all these bad things and how violent football is? We all know football is violent. We signed up to play the game. It is what it is. You know what you're getting into when you do it. And so that's why I turned down a lot of things, mainly because it just, I wanted football to be put in a positive light, and they were going to put it in the negative one. And then I asked this writer what was his intentions, beforehand, and he was, he said, I just want to know the story, what it is. I don't want to, there's no spin. I just want to know the story. And then, I trusted him, and, to my better judgment, he did a great job. So,
Clint, I don't want to say you're the poster child for this, but in a lot of ways you are sort of the face of this situation. Are you comfortable with that?
No, to be honest with you, no. But at the same time, sometimes things happen when you don't expect it, and you just got to make the best of it. So that's what it is. With my career that I'm getting into, coaching football, I love this game. I love everything it's done for me. It's everything I've known my entire life. I don't want anything negative said about it. I care deeply for this game. And concussions are very serious. People's health is definitely extremely serious and should be taken that way. But, I don't think at the expense of losing something that, honestly makes our country different from others, makes it, great. So
we're talking with former Mountaineer quarterback Clint Trickett. And to be clear, let's get this out of here. You're in no way, and you didn't in the article, and you haven't when we've talked, we've had you on one of our other shows before, you're in no way saying West Virginia didn't do what it was supposed to do when looking over your health, but rather you talk a lot about what you did to avoid these concussions being detected. Talk a little bit about that with us.
Yeah, and I want to make that clear because they do a great job. The trainers and everything, Dave Kearns, I had to constantly, put on a show in front of him because he kind of could tell, but not really. I did a decent job acting, I guess, of hiding it. And he was on it from the forefront. They all did their jobs. Basically, they did what they were supposed to do, and I just, want to commend them for that. So that's why I was the one hiding the concussions from them. I didn't want to come off the field. I wanted to keep playing. So, yeah.
If you were to go back and knowing what you know now and knowing what you went through and playing through some of those, what you now know to be concussions, would you do anything different, or would you do it again? I mean, you're a kid that loves the game, as you admitted, and you're a tough kid, and you were brought up to be tough and not quit and go after it. But would you change anything if you could go back?
Absolutely. No, absolutely not. I maybe would have tried to tackle the guy differently against Kansas State, and maybe I'm not out, and maybe I'm still playing. But that's how things work sometimes. It led me to where I am right now, and I'm happy with that.
So you're happy coaching. Your spot everyone thought for the last 23 years you would end up being. What is it? Yeah. What's it like that you're now doing? You've grown up obviously with it. Brothers, your dad, we all know the story. Is it what you thought it would be?
Oh, it's been better. I mean, and we've had a hectic year for our team. Ups and downs, made some national news and some good things, some bad things. But it's been a phenomenal experience. I love my kids. I've already, helped them and impacted them in a way that I didn't know if I'd be able to when I first, got into coaching. But I have, and it's been great. It really has.
Clint Trickett, former Mountaineer quarterback, is our guest. For those that may not know, you were at East Mississippi Community College, and it's a national power on the junior college level. Your school has won 3 of the last 4 junior college national titles, and you just mentioned that there's some national news you all made. You had in your final game a pretty significant brawl to end the season with Mississippi Delta, which has caused you all to be suspended or avoid the playoffs for this year. Kind of tell us a little bit what happened there as much as you can, and what that's like having to miss the playoffs this season.
Yeah, appreciate you bringing that up. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you said national news.
Yeah, no, I know. It was an unfortunate deal.
It was.
I'm extremely proud of our kids and the rest of the coaching staff. We, kind of got lured into a bad situation, a team that had nothing to lose and us that had everything to lose. And they kind of, it just happened, unfortunately. We did a great job of keeping them back. We have video evidence. We kept our guys back from the sideline for 31 seconds before they engaged with the other team. But that's a long time when, 11 of your guys are out there getting, viciously attacked by 60. So, eventually at some point for the other kids' safety, we had to not let them go. We had to do something, and they did. I'm proud of them. The rules are if you leave the bench, it's a 2-game suspension, and so that's what happened. They gave it to us. We're out of the playoffs. The team that's going to win or going to play in the national championship, we defeated 48-16. So, we're not. We wish we were there, but we're not. So we're just got to recruit now.
So what style of coach are you? Are you Rick Trickett? Are you Nick Saban? Are you Dana? A mixture of everybody? When you're out there, who would we think you are?
I do. I'm starting to realize I'm a mixture, and they're 2 opposite guys. I'm a mixture of Shannon Dawson and then a little bit of my dad. That's just natural. I'm going to be like that. But I learned a lot from Coach Dawson last year, the way he handled me the last 2 years. I liked it, but I also respected it, and that's why I take that same philosophy.
As Greg mentioned earlier, I'm not sure there's anybody that was more prepared and more eyes open going into a profession as you into coaching. But has there been anything that's surprised you, been more difficult than you thought it would be?
Well, we did. The way our season ended definitely was a little. I've experienced about every junior college stereotype there is this year, so that's been a little eye-opening, but it's been good. It's something that needed to happen to me. Now I know all about the junior college and the way it works when I didn't. I've been around college football my entire life, and I had no idea how it worked, the whole system. So it's definitely been, good. It's going to help me in my career down the road. But, just the way the kids, my biggest thing was I didn't think they'd, obviously I knew they'd listen because of what I've done, but, these guys could have been my teammates last year.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they listened, the way they took coaching, yes sir, no sir, they were so polite. I was not expecting that. I was extremely, that's why I love coming to work every day, is because the kids they're great kids. So.
You are at a school that produces a ton of high-level players. You were recruited yourself not that long ago. Now these kids are being recruited. How much do you guide them? How do you handle that? Because you want to help them, but they've got to make their own decision. How do you balance all that out?
Well, it's different for each kid. I'm recruiting high schoolers right now. I'm down on the coast of Mississippi, and I've met with kids all morning. And then it's the best option for them because a lot of them are great grade-wise. Junior college is going to be the best option because you can't qualify and make grades. A lot of them get small offers, and they think and probably do deserve better ones, but they haven't got a good look. So they come here, play for us 2 years, and then possibly get that big offer. And then there's the ones that are transfers from, I got a quarterback from Florida State. He'd been there for 2 years, wasn't fitting, wasn't right, wasn't the right fit, wrong system. He was able to come play for me for 1 year and get that experience of playing and not have to sit out somewhere, open up his entire recruitment so it lasts the whole season, and now he's going to be the quarterback, or he's going to compete for the starting job at Auburn next year. So, there's different angles, and it's different for each kid. But that's kind of the thing you got to learn. You got to learn how you're going to recruit, what angle you're going to use, and that sounds bad, but just what way shows them that this is the best option for them. And it's an easy sell because we have such a great track record. So.
Clint Trickett is our guest. That's what I was just going to talk to you about. It's really two different groups, and not that you don't take transfers at the Division I level, but you're getting, I don't know if more of them is the right term to use, but you've got two really different groups there, the high school kids versus those transfers. How actively do you have to pursue the transfers? Or, again, you mentioned it, your reputation is so good at the school. Are you getting a lot of guys picking up the phone and calling you?
Well, that's, it is a combination of both. I do stay pretty active on Twitter and, trying to find who's going to leave, who's going to, stuff like that. So I'm pretty active on that end. And, fortunately, I know a person or two in the coaching business, so I can stay connected to some people. But, it's been fun. It's definitely a different side of it. And it's different for each kid, like I said. So.
That program has produced, as I said, a plethora. I mean, from LeGarrette Blount through, I don't know how many pros are on this list that I'm looking at, but a ton of them. Give us a guesstimate. How many D1 kids do you have right now?
Oh, on this team?
Yeah.
Just sophomores or freshmen and sophomores?
Both.
Oh, the majority of our team, I think we put out like 96% of our team has always gone on and played after they've came here. The other ones that don't are usually linemen who just, are become farmers in Mississippi. But, this year we're about the same, maybe even better. It's going to be, we're a 55-man roster, and I think about 50 of them are going to end up playing FCS or FBS level. As far as Power 5, we may have 10 or 15 guys.
Wow. So, that's their future. What about yours? I mean, I'm not saying that, East Mississippi isn't very good, but, you're probably headed to bigger and better things at some point. Well, what does your future entail? Do you know?
Well, I guess this is where I pull the saving on you and say I'm happy with my job here at East Mississippi. I'm the quarterback coach here, and I'm going to continue to do that every day. So
perfect.
I guess I do copy him a little bit.
Well done.
And just like the Alabama beat writer, we got to ask. So
there you go. Yeah, right.
Well done, Clint. Last question. We'll let you go. It's last thing on the health side of things. Any lingering effects, or how do you feel now? Do you even notice any of the previous concussions, or you all systems go at this point?
I'm fine. I'm 100%. I'm good to go. Taking the time off and getting the coaching and not having the physical strain that I always have had definitely helped. And I'm good to go. So I appreciate you asking.
You were up here last week. You've probably gotten a glimpse of the Mountaineers a couple of times. What do you think of your old club?
Well, this is the first time I got to see them play live. I watch every game, record them, and so I watch them on Saturdays. But it was awesome. When Jared scored that touchdown, I think I was on the field. I was jumping from the sideline onto the field, so I was so happy. That was great because he's gone through so much, and he's an unbelievable dude. Hopefully one that I'll know and be friends with for the rest of my life. But it was great. Skylar played great. I was happy, excited for him. I think that's the style that they need to keep and go with him and the way they did offensively. Their running team. It just is what it is right now, and just you kind of got to roll with it.
So you were the one who got the penalty. Somebody got a penalty on that return. I didn't realize it was you.
I didn't get a penalty. I swear. I've gotten plenty of penalties before, but no, that time wasn't me.
All right, Clint, we'll let you run. Thank you so much for spending some time. It was great catching up again. The article was outstanding. We encourage everybody to check it out at the New York Times. Best of luck as you move forward. Stay in touch, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, thanks, Josh.
All right, there he is, former quarterback Clint Trickett. Good to catch up with him, Greg. Really
Absolutely.
Interesting article. If you haven't read it, just do a Google search, New York Times, Clint Trickett, and it's a really interesting and fascinating look inside what he went through over the last year or so.